Hillary was unconscious for 11 minutes after entering the operating room. When she awoke 4 days later, her family had brought her new baby, but she had refused to bear him. It was as if she was gazing at an unfamiliar person. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Hillary Wilson, 41, of Whitechurch, England, shared a home with her spouse and their two boys, Lucas, 4, and Sebastian, 6 years old. Hillary was a wonderful mother who cherished her children. The boys looked up to her and told her practically everything, since she believed that being a mother was not enough. She also wanted to be their greatest friend and confidant. She believed in the mother-child relationship and didn't find it difficult to bond with them. Therefore, she never could have anticipated that one day she would find it difficult to bond with her child. After Lucas was born, Hillary became pregnant once more a few years later. The previous 2 pregnancies went smoothly, but this one was a really tragic experience. Over the course of the 3 trimesters, Hillary encountered no difficulties. In fact, she felt a connection to her kid every time he kicked. But these wonderful events will eventually fade from her mind, completely. Hillary went into labor on schedule, and she was taken straight to the hospital. Active work lasts 4 to 8 hours on average, but in Hillary's instance, the labor lasted for 12 hours. The physicians were getting ready for an emergency C-section when they found they were not moving forward. It was a horrible decision, even though it appeared to be the best one. It was during the procedure that Hillary became unwell. Was this a step in the surgical procedure? Is this how I should feel? She was unable to tell. All she wanted was for it to pass so she could be secure, and especially safe for her child. But Hillary would never be the same, even if the baby would finally be well. Hillary experienced an abrupt heart arrest as soon as the physicians removed Felix, the baby, from the womb. She was afflicted with amniotic fluid embolism, a disorder that happens when fecal material, such as hair cells or other debris, enters the mother's circulation. Seizures, comas, and cardiac arrest are possible outcomes of the illness. Not only was the surgery not even close to being finished, but she was rapidly losing a lot of blood due to a cardiac arrest. Hillary didn't get better despite the physicians' best efforts to manage the issue. Her eyesight blurred soon after, and she was progressively losing strength. Though she wasn't sure if she would survive the play, Hillary thought of her loved ones throughout these somber times. She trusted her husband to carry on the excellent work, but she was happy that she had raised her boys well. All she wanted was the opportunity to say farewell. She was lost in contemplation until she heard a doctor yell, "CPR!" They were performing chest compressions before she recognized what was going on. Everything turned black at that moment. She went unconscious. For 11 minutes, the physicians gave her CPR and gave her an adrenaline shot. Hillary was put on life support and remained unconscious even after they detected a heartbeat. Upon visiting the doctor, Hillary's family was informed that her chances of survival were only 30% and that there was an 85% likelihood of brain damage. All they could do was relax and bide their time till she came to. But what would be the duration of their wait? A week? 2? Maybe even more? However, they were spared even that much waiting. When Hillary awoke 4 days later, she was completely changed. She winced as soon as she opened her eyes. She was unable to recall anything. I was attempting to interpret everything. I had no idea what had happened or where I was. Hillary remarked, "I had no idea that I'd ever been pregnant or had just given birth." She wanted answers to too many questions, but when she attempted to stand, she found she was immobile. This was a result of her being heavily sedated. She had forgotten that she had had a C-section, so she wasn't sure why she was experiencing the intense agony in her stomach at that moment. Even though she would have wanted to scream for assistance, the tubes in her airways prevented her from speaking. These things simply increased her paranoia. Who knows where they are when they wake up? Was this a dream of any sort? She had to wake up if that was the case. I had assumed that I had either died or been disabled. After a while, I realized that I had to be having a nightmare, stated Hillary. The physicians phoned her spouse to let him know about the new news once she became aware again. The spouse of Hillary was eager to see her again. His other family members hurried to the hospital when he called them. Regretfully, She was left wondering about their identity and the reason for the intense affection and sympathy they were showing her when they visited her room. I couldn't recall who my spouse and family were when I saw them. It took days for the sedatives to wear off for the world to return to reality, but at first I could identify their faces. It seemed rather bizarre, remarked Hillary. Hillary didn't regain any recollection of her newborn child even after she regained consciousness and was able to communicate and know her relatives. She didn't even know who or what Felix was, but every time her husband and family paid her a visit, they assured her that Felix was doing well. Since I was aware that my stomach was the source of the discomfort, I reasoned that having a cesarean section would explain why my stomach hurt when others mentioned the baby. Although everything made sense, I had trouble accepting it since I couldn't recall. Hillary struggled with all of them, but something changed when her sister showed her a photo of Felix. She immediately recognized the clothes the kid was wearing since it was one she had worn with her other two sons. She believed the kid may be hers after all, as she knew no one else could have it. Even though she was still incredibly puzzled, she decided to trust anything everyone told her after that. After 6 days, Felix was taken to Hillary by the medical personnel and family so that she could nurse him. Throughout, they had been using the breast pump in the hopes that it would strengthen their link and hasten Hillary's recuperation. Unfortunately, she felt as though she was staring at a stranger as they drew him closer to her. I didn't truly feel attached to him. I was content for my mother to snuggle him. I wasn't too worried about holding him. Nevertheless, her maternal instinct kicked in, causing her to cry. The tiny child had been left alone for the last few days, and it broke her heart. She was overcome with a strong desire to fight after that. She was determined to overcome the odds for her family and her boys, so she couldn't allow her memory loss get in the way of her goals. And what was the outcome of that? It was, in fact, a great success. Hillary was well enough to return to the maternity unit 11 days later. There, at last, she gained the strength to nurse Felix, and she felt a connection to him the moment he suckled from her breast. Slowly, as she fed him more, memories of her pregnancy and even delivery came flooding back, along with a deep and primal need to take care of him. And even more lovely, she acknowledged that he was hers. Hillary healed completely after 2 weeks, and she and Felix went back to their house. The two have been getting along just great ever since. Now I'm completely bonded with Felix, and he's a perfectly healthy, smiley little baby, she stated. Hillary has come to terms with the possibility that she may never remember the details of her pregnancy, despite the fact that she does not recall the entire experience. Her current priorities include taking care of, loving, and nurturing her kid. Moms really are amazing heroes. What kind things have you said to your mother today? Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.